Basically, it's a tree.
Right, exactly.
Cedar is a tree.
It's thick, right?
Right.
So the Most High, look, he described it as a cedar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, this cedar has branches that sticks out of it. We have in our pictorial a dinosaur that had a tail that had spikes coming out of the tail.
Mm-hmm.
It was a land, I can't remember the name of it, but it's a land dinosaur that had a tail and it had spikes like the spikes on the back of Godzilla's back. It was on his tail. I forgot. I had to figure out the name of that dinosaur. So this right here brings out truth that we know that this is not a hippopotamus.
Right.
Okay, we know that. All right.
So because of the tail, the differences in the tail size.
And
a cedar
the Most High
is a tree.
Right. And whenever the Most High associates something to another thing, it means something. Okay?
Yeah, it means that's where you get your similarities, and you should compare it.
Exactly.
In order to confirm it.
Well, look, you know what? Our book, prophets, our scriptures are a mystery in themselves. It was a mystery to the world of who the 12 tribes were. That was a mystery in itself, and the Most High revealed that to us.
Right. It's a mystery to the world. Let's say that, because it's not a mystery. So people have applied mysticism to our scriptures way too long, to the point where we were even wandering around, with question marks that were unanswered, specifically because we had been separated from our heritage.
Right.
But it's a mystery to those who it was not appointed to.
Exactly.
I have dealt with no other nation. He gave the book to Jacob, and we find that in the scripture.
Right.
It's for us. That's why it's our book.
Right.
Because we're like you, Elder, like you've been doing right now as Judah, you're unraveling what others would see as a mystery.
As a mystery. Exactly. Prophet, let's answer the other question. Let's go into Leviathan. Look at the similarities, brothers and sisters, between Leviathan compared to so-called Godzilla. Okay? Like the prophet said, Godzilla is the name that man called this creature. But how old is this? This creature was created with man too.
And so we're still in the book of Job, correct?
We're still in the book of Job.
41.
But what's the definition for Leviathan?
Okay, let's see that. It says a sea monster.
A sea monster. Look at the similarities. Godzilla can live in the sea. We know he can walk on land, but he lives under the sea.
Right.
Okay.
He normally comes out of the sea.
He comes out of the sea.
Out. A sea monster identified in different passages with the whale and the crocodile. Like again, Job 41, Psalms 74, verse 14, and with the devil after Isaiah 27, verse 1. They have this in the dictionary. You can pull this up. This is what you'll see. A very large aquatic creature, especially a whale. See, now, again, they're associating it with a whale, in Google. A thing that is very large or powerful, especially a ship. That's it's saying Leviathan. Those are names that the world gives it.
Right. Now, brothers, the prophets read a quick definition on Leviathan. We're looking at the similarities, right? We know that the world that doesn't know our Father is going to emulate or copy what they know, what they think they know. So they copy stuff, right?
If you and now in dictionary.com is really interesting. This definition that they give for Leviathan. It says a sea monster again, mentioned in the book of Job, where it is associated with the forces of chaos and evil. Very interesting. And the note, figuratively, they want to associate the example of Leviathan as any enormous beast. And then the note they have, Leviathan is a work on politics by the 17th century English author. So it's a work on politics. He created something. It's so interesting. That's what I want to bring out, that they dealt with the politicians when they're talking about Leviathan. And we know that we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but, rulers
and it's
in high
associated
places.
with Satan too, right?
Absolutely. Rulers in high places. Yeah, that they put it right there in your face.
Look. Let's go into the Bible. Let's see what the Bible says about Leviathan. Go to Job. We're still in Job. Go to Job chapter 41. We're going to let the now it's a lot in this chapter here, but we're going to highlight some of the special points about the Leviathan. Okay. Now today's lesson, brothers, I don't want y'all to get confused or get off topic. It is called the first Bigfoot. We're going to go into that. Okay. Why we believe it is Bigfoot. Why The Bible answers the question on what we call Bigfoot.
Yeah, what we call Bigfoot. It's
Exactly.
Not, yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, Job chapter 41, prophetess.
Con. And we're beginning with verse 1. Canst thou draw out Leviathan with a hook?
Now, look, fishermen, it's even been told and do fish stories, Moby Dick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fishermen tried to spear the big whale, couldn't do it,
Mm-hmm.
right? Men of ancient times tried to chain down the beast and then broke the chains, or you try. Look, the Bible is saying this. What the Bible say? What it say?
Can thou draw out of Leviathan with a hook, or his tongue with a cord which thou lettest down? Canst thou put a hook into his nose?
Can thou put a hook into his nose? Now, in my Bible, in your King James Version Bible, the prophets already said it's a big monster, right? So, in the King James Version Bible, in chapter 41, verse 1, there's a high note saying that the Leviathan is a crocodile. Do you believe it's a crocodile? After we go through this, will you believe this is a crocodile? No, like they try to say that the behemoth is a hippopotamus. It don't add up. Keep going, prophet.
Canst thou put a hook into his nose, or bore his jaw through with a thorn? Will he make many supplications unto thee? Will he speak soft words unto thee? Will he make a covenant with thee? Wilt thou take him for a servant forever? Wilt thou play with him as with a bird?
As with a bird? Will you play with him as with a bird? Come on.
Or wilt thou bind him for thy maidens? Shall the companions make a banquet for him? Shall they part him among the merchants? Can thou fill his skin with barbed iron, or his head with fish spears?
Now, the Most High is asking all these questions about the Leviathan because it's not a crocodile. This is a huge creature, a huge creation that the Most High made.
And we were going to see this, right?
You're going to see this. Come on.
Lay thine hand upon him. Remember the battle. Do no more. Behold, the hope of him is in vain. Shall not one be cast down even at the sight of him?
Even at the sight of him. Shall not
one be cast down even at the sight of him.
So this sounds real similar to me, because if I see a Godzilla come out of the sea and walk on the land, I'm going to be cast down. Or a Leviathan. That would cast me down. Not a crocodile. Come on, prophets.
None is so fierce that dare stir him up. Who then is able to stand before me? Who hath prevented me that I should repay him? Whatsoever is under the whole heaven is mine. I will not conceal his parts, nor his power, nor his comely proportion. So he's really comparing the Leviathan. That's it again, like you said, Elder. He's comparing it to the Most High and his greatness and his grandeur, and how you will fall at just the sight of him. Every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess that the Most High, that He's Lord. But and so that comparison with the Leviathan is something great and powerful. If he's comparing it to the likes of, you can't even deal with this monster, not comparing it to him, but to how, because certainly he's over all.
Right.
But that is huge. Is well beyond your countenance.
It sure is.
It says, I will not conceal, when I'm at verse 12, I will not conceal his parts, nor his power, nor his comely proportion.
Come on.
Who can discover the face of his garment, or who can come to him with his double bridle? Who can open the doors of his face?
Right.
His teeth are terrible round about.
His teeth what?
His teeth are terrible round about.
Come on.
His scales are his pride.
His scales are his pride. In many of your Godzilla films, Godzilla got scales. Godzilla's got those big scales on his back. In his scales, they light up, don't they? Don't they light up? So we can say he is prideful of his scales, because his scales, from his scales come Godzilla's breath, his fire, right? We see that, right? Keep going, brothers.
His scales are his pride, shut up together as with a close seal. One is so near to another that no air can come between them.
So that no air can come. They so tightly together, no air can come between them. Come on.
They are joined one to another. They stick together. That they cannot be sundered.
That they cannot be sundered. You can't tear them apart. Now, this is the Most High describing the Leviathan, a shadow of his fierceness, a shadow of his graceness.
Well, yeah, because anything that's created is come from him anyway.
Anyway, he said it. He created everything under the heavens, right?
That's right. Verse 18, by his sneezing a light doth shine, and his eyes are like the eyelids of the morning.
By his sneezing. You know what? Here we go. Remember growing up little children and growing older children today? Godzilla, we would see him open up his mouth and light would come out of his mouth or fire would come out of his mouth, right? This is the scripture on the Leviathan. Read that again, prophetess.
By his sneezing.
Sneezing. Now, it's saying sneezing here in the Bible, in the King James, right? All right, come on.
A light does shine.
A light shineth. A light shineth. Mostly when we sneeze, brothers and sisters, what we do, we open our mouth, right? So remember now, this is a shadow of the truth.
We open our mouth, and this is, I mean, the whole activity of sneeze is breath comes out because we're sneezing, hachu or whatever. But if the breath comes out in fire and the light comes out, I mean, it's like fire. Right?
It's like
what else would be light?
It is. Come on, prophet.
By his sneezing a light doth shine, and his eyes are like the eyelids of the morning.
Now here's the kicker right here, brothers and sisters. Read. I'm gonna let the prophets read it. Here's the kicker. Come on.
Out of his mouth go burning lamps.
Out of his mouth go what?
Burning lamps.
Burning lamps.
And sparks of fire leap out.
Woo! You can't tell me that's not a similarity of what we call Godzilla.
Here's the thing. The similarity came there. See, here's the thing. The depiction came from scripture.
Yeah.
That they made an image out of.
Yeah.
We need to understand that. That's why the Most High is always telling us not to even look to an image.
Right.
They pulled what this description was and developed it into the Godzilla.
Exactly.
And we need to understand that this came before Godzilla.
Bro,
so when I say this is Godzilla, what they pulled out is this. As Godzilla refers to Job.
Exactly. Job was here before Godzilla.
Absolutely.
Job was here before a nation.
Before a man-made figure put on a man-made image put on television. Job was here. So that's how we really need to look at that. That's Miskosi, and that's the thing. That's the game they've been playing on you anyway.
Yep.
We won't read. You had something, put it in the book, they said. Out of his mouth go burning lamps, and sparks of fire leap out. Out of his nostrils goeth smoke.
Out of his nostrils goes smoke.
Yep. As out of a seething pot or a cauldron.
Now, is that a crocodile? This is why we rely on the scriptures, and we know the truth to be the truth.
Right.
This is not a crocodile, brothers and sisters.
But his skin, see, the thing is, that's where they want to put the reference. When the type of description given about his skin, from the beginning, they asked if you'd be able to put a hook in his nose. You can't penetrate. Nothing. There's nothing that you can do. And just like he said, at one sight, you'll fall to the ground, face down. You shall not one be cast down, even at the sight of him.
Even at the sight
you
of
know him. Already, ain't no sense in thinking you could do anything. A hook in the nose, you can't even reach his nose. Get burnt up just from a sneeze.
I thank the Most High for his understanding and revealing the truth, because the scriptures has the answer to everything. What happens in the heavens and on the earth and under the earth.
That's right.
The scriptures have the answer. It had the answer of who we were as a people revealed to us in these last days and times. All praise due to the Most High. Prophets, what else you got that you want to bring in there?
Oh, did you want me to continue? I'm not sure.
Read verse 20 again, prophets.
Out of his nostrils goeth smoke, as out of a seething pot or cauldron. His breath kindleth coals. Man, I needed him when I was trying to make my barbecue. And a flame goeth out of his mouth. In his neck remaineth strength.
Woo! In his neck remaineth strength. Now, you know what? I have seen a lot of Godzilla movies. Yeah, I love that show. I grew up on that. Okay? But even King Kong that tried to get Godzilla, he tried to grab him around his neck, and Godzilla threw him off of Okay. In his neck, what prophet?
In his neck remaineth strength.
Remain